Well, good evening, everybody. See, everybody's here. Can everybody hear me? Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, it has been an interesting week for me. I hope everybody has had a good week. I hope you've had some good things happen. Um, we're going to start out. First of all, I am a Christian and I believe in God. And so I'm going to say just a little prayer. If you don't believe, then just put your fingers in your ears or something, I guess. Okay, God, you made this animal and you made us, and we thank you for opening our eyes to what's going on and helping us be victorious and stopping the abuse and the use of horses and people that's going on in the hoof world. In Jesus' name, amen. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. Here's the deal. We're going to do a little bit of an anatomy lesson, and then we're going to do some hoof evaluations. Now, I am a little tired. I didn't get any sleep last night, so if I act a little brain dead, I hope you cut me some slack. Okay, so you know that we were all taught to basically trim the heels out of our horses. And like in this mare here, I was still, when she died, this is Cookie. This is an Appaloosa mare I was doing. She was all white. I have a couple videos of her on my YouTube channel. I was still trimming the heels out of her, but she was pretty sound because, see, I didn't fully do the where you measure to the 1 1/8 inch right here. Okay, I kind of quit doing that, and I was just going back to the base or widest point of the frog. And if you do that, you will not trim the heels out of your horse as much. But if you measure and always trim the heels right below the periopal flap, or if you use one of those plexiglass things, which I had one around here, wonder what I did with it. I tried that, I think, twice, where you make yourself this plexiglass thing that has a 30-degree hairline angle on it, and then you try and trim the hoof to where that is. And I mean, that just didn't seem to work at all. So I'm glad I never used that. But there are a lot of people that have used that and have even more severely trimmed the heels out of their horse. So, you know, in discovering the heel buttress, which I was growing heels before that, but for a wholly different reason. I've thought mechanically that I had to get more heel here in order to get all this to come back and make the heel stand up. I was just growing heel to make the heel wall come back and stand up like that. And then I was going to trim it down after that. You know, after I got the horn tubule here, the heel, run forward heel, what looked like run forward heel to come back, then I would have cut down the heel. If it wasn't for the fact that I was making, you know, all those illustrations I do on the anatomy, if it wasn't for the fact that I was doing an illustration and all of a sudden I noticed this chunk of hoof wall that goes right here, and I went, this is interesting. Okay, and that's when I learned that, hey, you got to have some heel buttresses here in order to have any sole in the whole foot. Okay, now, you know, I kind of thought that was the end all. You know, great, I'll grow some heel, restore the foot there, and that's great, you know. And I learned too that, hey, you know, if you grow some heel, then that's going to give your frog room to grow as well. And so then I thought, okay, good frog, that's the end all. Now I know, you know, what we're supposed to have. But it wasn't until this last dissection, and this is Molly's hoof capsule from that dissection that I realized it all begins and ends with this thing right here. I mean, yeah, you want your toe right, and the other parts of the hoof are important, but this thing right here has to be healthy for everything to function. And, you know, we start our trim, well, taking pictures, but then where do we start it? Finding the apex, the true apex of the frog, right? Okay, that's where the trim starts, but where the trim ends is when you have restored the heels and you have restored what is called the frog stay, which is this thing right here. This thing is so important for the whole function of the hoof to be correct and for this thing to be healthy, not a big crack up here. This is what keeps your heels from contracting. And look at that thing. It's humongous. See there? Hers was fully restored. And she was getting she had totally atrophied frogs because of when I leased her out as a brood mare for a couple years, they never trimmed her. And you see how strong her hoof walls are. Her hoof walls grew this long and straight up and straight, you know, they didn't run forward or anything. She was just like standing on stilts up like this. And she got deep central sulcus thrush, her heels contracted, and her frogs atrophied. So I want you to know that this horse here had very severe contracted heels. Now, she still has a little bit of contraction there, but a lot of it came out. And look at the healthy frog she wound up getting. See there? But the amazing part is this thing here, the frog stay, that's on the other side of your central sulcus here. That grows up from between the bulbs and it keeps the bulbs separated. And, you know, I don't know what all it does. There was a video that showed a guy with a partial hoof capsule and he was flexing this and you could see this thing going back and forth like this. So there's something, you know, that horse has to be able to feel that under there. That has to be sending that horse signals for what is going on in the ground. So that horse can read the ground, you know. See, it goes back and forth like this. When the horse, I don't want to mess my, see how that flexes? Okay. See that, I can't really do it where you can see it, but see, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see that thing move back and forth right here. See there? That's got to be telling that horse something. Okay, now I'm going to, we're going to go on screen share for the rest of this deal. I got to put this back in its little container so it stays fresh. See how I've kept it from shrinking? Isn't that awesome? Okay. Now this one, they cremated this mare and this foot went through the fire. But these feet were originally the same size, about the same size. Okay, so it all begins and ends with this frog and getting a super healthy frog. And what this does, this frog stay will do, it's going to pull this frog back up into the foot, into the back of the foot, like so that it'll keep your heels back and keep your heels from running forward. And it sends signals up through the leg, you know, to tell that horse what's going on with the ground. Okay, now I'm going to put this back in his little, what I have him in is water and vinegar. And that's the way he's been staying. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay. Go back in your little bath, little foot. Okay. Okay, hold on here. And we're going to do some screen sharing. Okay. Here we go. Going to infinity here. Okay. Okay, now I just showed you that foot. Hold on here. I want to make sure I can see your... See you guys over here? Okay. Okay, now here's Molly's foot without the capsule. And what you see right here is where that frog stay grows from. And you see how it keeps the bulbs separated and also lifted properly up in the air once there's some heel there. Just a second here. Put that down there. Hold on. Okay, we're going to go. Okay, are you able to see this? Everybody seeing this? Okay. So again, here's where that frog stay goes right here. Now, you noticed how solid it was. See, and this is why we have to learn to, the better you can trim your frogs, the better frog you'll have. And the better your heel buttress, the better frog you'll have and the better foot you'll have. You know, you can see that frog stay, it's not to just be a big crack right there. That's supposed to be full of that supple, pliable frog. Okay, let's go. Okay, now we're going to just go ahead and look at Molly's foot here. Oops. Okay, now you see this here? She had some coffin bone remodeling. I'm pretty sure that was from when I trimmed out the heels and kept thinking the toe was long and kept taking the toe back. Because that's what happens. When you trim the heels out, it makes the toe look long, even if the toe isn't. Okay. Okay, now it doesn't show it here, but these heels are supposed to be down like this. See? To where they're more defined, and the capsule pushes this coronary band up and supports it with the big heel buttress pillar right here. Okay, now we're going to see here in a while, we're going to look at Hannah's horse. We're going to do an evaluation on Hannah's horse. I also want to look at one hind foot on Bob Miracle's horse. That's different than all her other feet because he's got a heel thing going on that a lot of you are going to get, and you need to know how to deal with that to get it to change. And Jessica also, I think her horse had the same issue. Anyway, we're going to look at that. Okay, but first we're just going to look at this foot. And the more you get to understand this foot and the anatomy of this foot, the more you're going to understand how to trim, the more you're going to see little details and things like that. But we're trying to build and get a healthy frog that is pliable, about the consistency of hard rubber. And we don't want a big crack up in here. Okay, has anybody ever got a really hard callus and had it crack? You know, or know somebody does? It's hard to heal, isn't it? You know, you got to remove that whole callus. It'll crack clear up into your skin and into the flesh. Okay. Now, your coronary band, now just because we see this, okay, remember, I trimmed the heels out of this mirror, okay? What you're looking at here is a heel distortion she still had. Even though I was able to grow some pretty good heel on the capsule, her heel right here was distorted. So if I'm a researcher and I don't know that, and most of the feet that I'm looking at have had the heels trimmed out, and I look at this, what is going to happen? Okay, I'm going to say, oh, look, they should have a 30-degree hairline. See there? You know, they're not going to be thinking about the fact you got to have some heel down here. But you see how you could misinterpret this foot to be just like what they were teaching us that wasn't right. Okay, see, and we're gonna look at the ideal foot here. Just a minute here. Let's take a look at the ideal foot, the anatomically correct foot, because you have to have the picture of that in your mind and on your computer. Just a minute here. Okay. A second here. See, I've done all these diagrams, diagramming every bit of this foot. Now, this is a wild horse foot that can be found on Pete Ramey's webpage, hoofrehab.com. Okay, but I want you right here. I'm going to open this up here. Yeah, I have like studied this foot to the extreme. Okay, let's see. Okay, now do you see the heel on this foot? How it is? See how the coronary band goes here? Ideally, this goes right around the back of the foot, right here, where the coronary band goes straight, and then it turns to the back of the foot, supported up in the air, and then kind of straight across back there where it finally turns under the foot, you know, and turns into the bar and everything. Here's your heel buttress. Okay, but you see how this is the anatomically correct foot. Every horse has a foot starting out like this. They have a real heel here. See the heel? That is the real heel. Okay, Molly, when you trim the heels out, this is all cartilage right here. Just a minute. Oh, there we go. Hey. Okay. This from about here back is all cartilage. That is why when you trim the heels out, it is, just a minute. Let me do this. That is why when you trim the heels out, okay? See, here's the periopal flap right here. See it? It starts out like this. And every time, and see, and then once the horse walks on it here, this periopal flap, first of all, this cartilage wants to go back up this way. So it's always pulling. So after the horse walks this way, this periopal flap loosens up again, winds up there. So the next time you trim him, you're trimming him like this. And the periopal flap wears some more, and this pulls up like that. And next time you're trimming him like this. See there? Well, you know, if I took this and I rotated it, you would see that the pressure is right on this point right here, And so this is all going to get worn down just like that. See there? Okay, so again, this is the way your horse's foot is supposed to be. Just like the toe. See, because I trimmed Molly a certain way, it wore her toe off. It wore her heels down, crushed them, and bent them forward. So you can see how you get enough horses like that, you do enough dissections, you're going to think that's the way their foot really is. See there? Okay, so just a second here. Okay, where am I going? Let's put you up here. Wish I could get rid of this thing. Well, we'll just hide you. There we go. Okay. Let us compare. Can you see how the heels are crushed there? But not here. Now, her heels were not always like that. Okay? At one time, she would have been like this too. See? Okay. Let's see here. Okay, remember this? Just a second here. Open with photo viewer. Remember that? This is what we're kind of taught to look for. But this is the true good foot right here. See, what you see is what you get. You know, the image you have in your mind is what you're going to trim to. That's why you have to get a different image in your mind than what we had been taught to as a barefoot horse. Because what they're showing us are feet that were dried up, like Jamie Jackson's feet. They're, 30 years old and all dried and shriveled up. That is not the true horse's foot. Okay. Okay, let me see here if there's anything else. Okay, here we go. Now, here's where the periopal is, right here. Okay, but do you see how you have to have enough heel buttress wall so the frog can grow and so that the frog stay can grow up in between those bulbs so that you have heels. So until you get your heels corrected, you're not going to have the sole. Your horse will not have the sole he needs. See, now you can start growing them. And here's the thing, if the heels are low, a lot of times they have to grow. I want you to remember they have to grow up first before they're going to wind up growing down this way. So you'll think your heels aren't growing, but it's because that growth is going upward and it is re-pushing up this coronary band and supporting the whole back of the foot. Okay? Okay. Well, oh my goodness. Let's get something in front of that. Just a second here. Don't want that. Oh, we can go there. Okay, hold on. Just a second here. Okay, let's go back to this foot and look at it a little more. Okay, we're just going to look at this foot some more here. Now you see, here's another thing. Look at the distortion in the coronary band from the way the foot grew. When that heel's trimmed out and pulled down like this, then this, you'll see it in your horses too. This piece of hoof wall wants to grow and jam all this back up that way. So be paying attention to that. We're going to have to figure out how to correct that. Okay, yeah, if her foot was correct, this coronary band would not go down like that. It would be just exactly like that other foot I just showed you. There might be a little difference in the angle of the dorsal wall, but not much. Okay. You see, this is all distortion here. Yeah, I'll show you a picture of the hoof with the hide on it. Okay. Yes, I will show you a picture of the hoof with the hide on it. Ah. Okay. Here we go. Okay. See the frog stay? You know, and again, her heels were still kind of contracted, but not as severe as they were. Okay. Get that good picture there for you. Now, when you're removing these hoof capsules, this is where you got to get your thumb in or something and get this disconnected right here first. Then you get your, get in there. I used a carpenter's pencil, kind of pushed out the heel right here. I think that's a little more damaged because of the pencil I shoved in there. But once you get, here's something. Okay, now you learn something every time you do the trim. You learn something every time you do the mapping. I learn something every time I do one of these dissections, but I'll tell you what, people can do these dissections and not learn nothing. There's plenty of people out there doing dissections, really aren't learning anything. Okay, so one thing I learned from doing this dissection is that if the horse has a very strong heel, the hoof capsule is very hard to get off. If the horse has a weak heel, it pops off easily. See, because I had another one dissection I did on a horse that was never trimmed, and his heels were really run forward and collapsed, and so he didn't have a good heel connection, and that capsule just popped off so easy. And so that goes to show you, see, your hoof capsule is so unstable when you don't have any good heel. See, you've got to have some depth of heel right here and a good connection all around there. Because, see, you can even trim this part out right here. Okay. Hi, Marianne. Glad you made it to your first webinar. 126 there. Sorry, we're already gone. You could rewatch in the end. Okay, so I was going to show you. Okay. Just like a shoe in a foot. See, this is anatomical mapping to give a person a general idea of where their hoof capsule is supposed to be, kind of how it's supposed to look, kind of the measurements. This is not, exact for every horse, and there are, there are things that you need to know, to understand this. So it's not just, it is not cookie cutter, not at all. But we can get in within a general range, and we can understand the anatomy, and we can trim to create boundaries and borders to set up that foot so that it will grow correctly and be corrected. Okay, so yeah, see there. So if I had her foot, what is this? 2 3/4. All right, so if I had 3.5, 3 1/4, that'd give me an inch, about an inch of sole ridge right here. See there? Okay, or 1/2 inch, or how would that work? 2 3/4, 3 3/4, 3.5. That give me about 3/4 of an inch of sole. All right. Okay. Sorry about I'll want you all to look into eternity there. Okay. Just a second. Now, okay. Now, I'm not criticizing this person because about 5 or 6 years ago, when I had my Yahoo Hoof group and we were trimming and I was still shaking the heels way down, I went through this stage where I thought that horses had, somebody's here to bush hog my pasture. Oh. Anyway, I went through this stage where I thought that horses had to walk on their bulbs. Yeah, that's not saying it, but I really thought that. I thought the bigger the bulbs, the better. Okay, and so here you see somebody teaching that very thing. And I've seen another guy on Facebook that's pretty popular teaching that as well. But we know, just a minute, we know that that is not correct. Just a second. I wish I wouldn't have got rid of that one picture. Hold on. Let me get that back. Hold on, have patience with me. Okay. Okay. What was I just talking about? Cryomanately. Okay, I want to put this foot back up here. And don't let me forget whoever asked about hair on the foot. Okay, now I remember what I was talking about. Man, I'm getting senile. Okay, there's what happens when you want your bulbs on the ground. Here, hold on a second. I have to talk to somebody for just a second. Hold on one second. Hey, Leah, you got $20? What?
Oh, well, I was letting you know he was here, but I told him, I don't know what y'all want.
Okay. Yeah, and over here too, if you can get over there. If you can open the fence. Where's Valor?
He's in there. Close the fence.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll tell him that too.
Okay, but if you can let him in, and if you can get Valor and tie him up in the, or just put him in with the pony, or do something.
I will do that.
Okay, but it's so that you don't hurt her. And then if you have $20, if you can give it to him, do you have $20? Okay, well. Okay. Okay, well, tell him I'll get with him, but that Neil's got the money. Okay. Sorry about that. I got a guy out here bush hogging my pasture, and I had to anyway work on that for a second so that he could get into the right place. Okay, hold on here. I want this, and then I want that other picture. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Do you see that? There's no sole in the heel of that horse. Just a second here. It's not obeying me. Okay. See that? I thought the same thing. See, when you don't know the truth and you see these different things manifesting in your horse's feet, you think, oh, that's the way it's supposed to be, when it's not. See? So that's not what we want right there. I'm going to take a picture of that. Post on our page. I'll just call it bulb. Okay, so when you look at your horse's feet, you want to look at the hairline right here. Okay? and you're going to be able to tell how much sole you have. Now this you should have some heel buttress, at least that much. See there? So you have some sole in the side of your foot there. Okay. Now I got to find you guys again. I am totally lost. Okay. Okay, so what we're wanting to restore is the frog stay. And I'm going to show you why here in a second. This right here. Okay, now see again, she needs about this much heel down here so that she has no frog at all. See, no frog at all. Just maybe a thin covering, and it's being pummeled and pushed up into the foot onto the navicular bone. Okay, so we're going to look at this because, just a minute, I want to make sure. Okay. See, she says, this is my mare's left front foot. As you can see, she is weight bearing on the bulb. The foot has a bell shape and the lateral cartridges have good distance. She thinks this horse is supposed to be walking on the bulb. I did too when it wound up that my bulbs were on the ground. You know, I thought, oh, this is the way the foot's supposed to be. So again, I'm not criticizing this person. You know, I'm showing you what all of us have done at some point. Okay, but what I want to show you is so here I want to show you what happens when you trim the heels out. It can cause this situation here, which is mechanical laminitis. But what I want you to look at is, here is a healthier foot. Here is a section that's cut in half. Here is the frog stay. Okay, a healthy frog stay right here. Now, here is your digital cushion. Look at the shape of the digital cushion. What does the frog stay do? It pushes up and holds the digital cushion into place so that it is compressed and condensed to cushion the navicular bone. Do you see that? Okay, here is where there's no frog stay here. And what is going on with the digital cushion? You know, it's not, you know, this is all fat. So the weight of the horse's foot is just pushing this fat out the back of the foot. And you know what? We're taught in barefoot trimming that this would be healthy, that we're supposed to trim the foot this way, and that we're to build the digital cushion. You cannot build fat. Okay, that's another big fat lie. Well, didn't mean that pun, but you can't build up fat, but you can grow frog, you know? Okay, so we'll look at some more of those here. Okay, here. Okay, this is not a very good frog stay. And this is kind of in between, you know. A good frog stay come up here like this and push this digital cushion more up this way. They have mistaken, when you have a good frog stay in here and you palpate that foot by putting your thumb here and your finger here and you press, it is firm, firm, firm. Okay, they have mistaken a good frog and a frog stay for some sort of built up, you know, super digital cushion or something. You know, you can't strengthen fat. You can only, you know, retain the fat under the navicular bone and in this area where it's supposed to be by growing a healthy frog stay. So here are two wild horse hooves. Okay. This is one Pete Ramey found in California, died in a cattle guard. Look at the frog stay. How high it is up behind the coffin bone. Right there. This is another one. Wild foot. Look at the frog stay. This is the kind of frog that we are trying to develop. Okay. Okay, now here are different feet with different kinds of distortions and no heels. I want you to look at the different shapes of the digital cushion, which is supposed to be right here. Now, again, on this wild horse, let me get it bigger here. On this wild horse right here, big frog stay. Look at how it holds the digital cushion in a specific location. See there? At least that part of the digital cushion. Under the navicular bone. Okay? Now look at this foot, where I don't know what happened to that foot, but there it had no heel, and the frog was distorted. But look at how the shape of the digital cushion. See how it changes according to your heel buttress and your frog? You have to have an anatomically correct frog. You know, so if things like this are going on in your horse's foot and your horse is not totally sound after a couple trims, it's because what we are doing here is we are moving everything inside the foot back into place. See, it's not just a matter of growing a nice wall. As you do this, you're going to be, the internal parts are going to move. See, this frog would straighten out, this frog stay would push up like this, and this digital cushion would have to push in like that, you know, for this foot to be anatomically correct. Okay, let's look at another one. Well, here's another one. This was in some clinic. I'm sure they thought it was a healthy foot. Here, look at the frog stay. And I think I read on there, oh, this foot has a healthy digital cushion. See, is that a healthy digital cushion? No. That is a digital cushion that has no support, and there is no frog here. But they're all looking at this toe. Oh, isn't it beautiful? You know, oh, look at that healthy digital cushion. No, it's not. You know, we've seen what a healthy digital cushion is. So if this foot was restored, it got the heel buttress, and this frog stay grew up here, it's going to push all this digital cushion up just right where it's supposed to be, under that navicular bone and that deep digital flexor tendon. Okay, here is another one. It only had a little picture, so you really couldn't see it. But this wasn't a bad foot. Look at the frog stay right here. See? You know, at least it's got this digital cushion kind of pushed up where it's supposed to be. Okay, this is not good. Kind of mediocre. Kind of mediocre here. Look at the hairs clear down here at that yellow line. See there? That's where the hairline is. Shouldn't be there. This frog stay should be clear up here, like that. See, the frog's been pulled under the foot by trimming out the heel. Under the foot by trimming out the heel. Okay, and this is just a mess here. Like, what is this? A frog stay? Or is it here? Or where's what and what's when? You know, here. This is a frog that would, this is a frog. This is a horse would be walking on his bulb, and his frog is pulled clear up under his foot here. Okay, so that is the anatomy lesson for this class. Okay, now we're going to do some hoof evaluations. I thought I had a glass of water. Hold on. Okay, so now you know, we've taught in former sessions that you're trying to line up the horn tubules of the wall with the inner lamina. You're trying to realign the whole hoof capsule in alignment with the lamina, so that the inner foot and the outer capsule have weight-bearing equilibrium. See if we can. Yeah. Okay, see them? See the lamina? Just a minute. Okay, now can you see the sense that makes? You know, you don't want this piece of hoof wall that should be here, growing here, that attaches the lamina here. Look at the lamina lines. You don't want this here growing clear up to the toe up here. See, and the more you trim the heels out, the more these grow forward like that. Okay. Yes, I will put them up on the Facebook, Barb. I will put those pictures of the frog stays up on Facebook. Hold on. Can you keep an eye on, is he done? Are you looking for money? $2 more. Okay. Tell him thank you, that I'm just really... Hold on, I gotta get the money for the tractor guy. Meditate on that foot there. Okay, and I got some money here.
Well, I have 18 and 2, that's 20.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, dear. Yeah, we're scrounging for quarters to pay the guy that's bush hogging the pasture. Okay. What a year. It has been so wet here. And you know what? I ain't got a touch of thrush because I use New Hoof. And so if you don't have New Hoof, you all need to get some because you will never have thrush again. And it'll last you forever. New Hoof, yeah. New Hoof, let me show you this. I'll post it. Well, what I'll do is New Hoof, what it is, it's ionized copper sulfate. It's not like Copper Tox, that nasty garbage. Okay, this stuff is what they use in dairy barns. And they pour it in these foot baths because cows have horrible feet problems because walking in and out of the manure-filled barns. And so they walk through foot baths. And so y'all really need to get that. What I do, I buy a gallon of it. I pour it into a small spray bottle that I keep with my trimming tools. And then after every trim, I spray that on. And boy, I tell you what, I have cured deep central sulcus thrush just by cleaning it out really good, stuffing it with cotton, and then spraying that stuff in there. And horses that I knew I wouldn't be back to trim for 3 months, and they'd have a bad case of deep central sulcus thrush. This is when I first started using it. And so stuff it, clean it, stuff it with cotton, saturate it, come back 3 months later, their frogs all healed up. You know, it stays on for a month. You know, I'd come back, yeah, I'd still find traces of it. So anyway. All right, and here's the deal. If you're in another country and you can't get New Hoof, do some research. Find out where the dairy barns are in your country and find out what they use. Okay, for their cow's feet. All right, and then use that. Oh, it'll work for your goats too, Rena. Rena says, awesome, need it now. Maybe it will work for your goats. Absolutely, they use it on goats. For sure. It used to go by the name of Stockplex, but now it's just New Hoof. You can get it at Valley Vet. New Hoof Concentrate. That's what you need to type in. New Hoof Concentrate. Okay. All right. We're going to move on here. We're going to start doing some hoof evaluations. Okay. Okay. Okay, one thing I wanted to do today was I wanted to do Hannah because she's very upset about her horse. Her horse is limping. So, oh man, where are you? Just a minute. Help. Let's cover that up. Is Hannah here? Did Hannah make it? I think she's over in another. Oh, there you are. Hi. Well, I was feeling so bad for you, but I think we're going to see some things on here that will help you, know where you're at and where you need to go, and maybe something you can do to help your horse get over that limp. Now, I had Valor do that to me one time. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and go to the TACT Facebook page and show the video of Hannah's horse. And Hannah, at first did you think it was her left foot at first that she was having problems with? Let's see. Hold on, I gotta find where I'm at here. Okay. Okay, here's Hannah's horse. Just a second. She said her left foot turns out. And you thought that was the foot she was limping on. Is not that correct? But as we look at this video, I want you to notice that her horse's head bobs when she steps on the right foot. And yeah, she does like kind of slam that left foot down, but it's just like you would if your one foot's hurting, you're giving. You're like that, and you're hurrying up and you're taking a step with the other foot. So I'm going to play this a little bit, and I want you to notice how when the horse steps on the right foot, you'll see her nose bob in the picture. Just a minute. What is that? Okay. Gosh. Okay. Okay, so what I see is that, yeah, you may toe out on this foot here, but she is definitely having a problem with that right front. Now, did everybody see that? Did you kind of see that nose bob down into the picture just a hair, just a little bit? Okay, well, I can't tell you exactly why your horse may be doing this, Hannah, but we can look at this foot and see some things that might be causing it. Okay. Me, I'm thinking, Sarah thinks it's the left is sore. Me, I'm thinking it's the right is sore. Hannah says, I think they're both hurting. Well, you know what? That's probably right. Okay. Okay. Well, we're going to go and we're going to look at the feet and we're going to do an evaluation on them. So let's see. Now, these are the most current pictures. Is not that correct, Hannah? Okay, and Hannah, where are you at? What state do you live in? In Germany. That's right, in the state of Germany. Okay, this is posted 1 day ago. This is the left front. But first I want to look at the right front, okay, to show you why she might be stepping quick on that. All right. This is the right front. Okay. Now the first thing we see, can everybody see that foot pretty clearly? Right here. Okay. The first thing we see is that you can see that, look at the hairline, okay? And you'll see that she's got a little bit of jamming right in the pillar here. See the growth ring? You guys got to remember to start looking at your growth rings, which is your hoof wall grid. And that tells you your medial lateral balance and how symmetrical the trim is. It tells you if you've got any hoof wall jamming up this way. See, it goes up like that. See there? Okay. And we also see some compression rings right here. Do you see that? That shows that there's some jamming in here too. Okay, can you see that, Hannah? See how it's there's a compression ring in here? Now see, you don't see it right here, but this is the weakest place right here in the hoof wall because it's thinner wall and it's new wall. And so there's some jamming here that's causing some compression rings, which is actually Rufus is over here telling me something, but I can't answer. Sorry. Okay. Okay. What a compression ring is actually where the wall has gotten too much weight and pressure from beneath and it has buckled. See? That's where the wall buckles. Okay, now let's look at this. Okay. Look at, now doesn't that look like she's got some jamming, and see where the hair sticks up here, and look at the rings here. But what I want you to really see is, see this ring, this should be symmetrical. Even if you've got jamming, this should be symmetrical, but look at the corner here, right here. Okay, now, one time I trimmed Valor. It's a long story and hard to explain, but I trimmed one side too low, okay? And he had a pronounced limp because I had such a medial lateral imbalance in his foot. Okay, well, maybe you just need to, okay, how to lower the sole. Well, now I'm looking at this foot. Let's see here. Let's, just a minute. I thought I had a picture of this. See, I don't think this is just, well, it is high. What you can do is you can bevel this. You can start by beveling it down. See the ring? See the ring right there? Okay. You're pretty safe to go to follow this ring. I'm going to try my new little program here. Okay. All right. Now, just a minute here. Okay. See the rings? I'm going to follow the ring. See it? You are pretty safe on lowering this corner a little bit, and you don't have to take off a lot of sole, but then you can finish with the bevel. You can take this side back, like you know how I show you. You can you know how to aim down. Man, I am brain dead tonight. Sight down the foot. Hannah, hold the foot and sight down the foot. Do you know how to do that? Okay. We'll kind of do that and look at the side of that toe, but you are safe. This is why also we do the mapping of the dorsal wall. See, and you're pretty good right there. See that? See, your shape right here is good. All right. Okay, it's right here. I think if you were just, what you got to do is just mark it, follow the growth, the horn, or the growth ring. Follow the growth ring. Come over here. Mark down right to there, and then just trim it about to here. Take off about that much, and then just re-bevel your wall here a little bit. See, I think that might help. But let's look at the rest of the horse's foot. Okay, this is one reason why we also keep an eye on the dorsal wall and on the growth rings. That's just another tool in our book of knowledge that we can use to tweak little things on the hoof to start trying to get the foot symmetrical and balanced. But see, you've got just a little room between those joints, and so if you get an imbalance in here, that I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm saying that can cause those joints to pinch, This is an average Icelandic horse. How big are Icelandic horses? Are they like cob size, smaller horses? Okay, well, oh man, you guys are talking in cms. I only know inches. Okay. 13 2 hands. All right, so not a very big horse. Okay, and have you measured his dorsal walls here at all? Okay, well, why don't you do that? It'd be from the hairline, right where the hair starts to grow. Down here, that'd be good to know exactly. And then you go over this way, 2 inches, and then measure down here. It's supposed to be 1/4 inch shorter on the side here. But you kind of do a combination of that and reading the growth rings. See there? See that growth ring? You can really see how this corner here, see? This is how I first started. That's kind of what it's supposed to look like there. See that? See, this is quite a bit. This could make a difference in his joints right here and make him limp. Okay? All right. I'm gonna. Okay, I didn't want to do that. Just a second. Let's go back here. Okay. All right, let's look at this foot some more. Okay, now here you can really see it. See there? Do you see how with this side high, okay, how it's pushing him over that way? Can you see that? Okay, well, you just from the bottom. Well, let's see. Before we check out of here, just a minute. I'm trying to think of how to show you. Well, let me show you this. Let's go through the foot first, and then I will get out of here, and I'll try and show you here on my board. Okay? Okay. Uh-oh. What happened? Okay. Okay, that's the right front. Just a minute here. Okay, now, Hannah, why is not this working? Well, that figures. Let me refresh that. Rare. Okay. Something's going on with the Hoof School site. It figures. Well, let me try and get in. Let me try to get in again. Well, I suppose they decided to. Well, that figures. You see what's going on here? They have decided, I guess my internet has decided not to work. Can you guys still hear me? My internet just decided to get slow. So this site can't. Well, we're going to have to detect some problems here. Wonder if Facebook is working. Sorry about this. You are experiencing technical difficulties. Do not change the channel. The old people will know what that means. Okay, this stupid thing. Well, see, Facebook is still working. Let me write a note to. No, we are. Gotta go. Okay. Hannah, sorry about this. Linda, close Facebook. Close Facebook and try it. Well, Hannah, can you post those pictures on the sole of that foot on oh, wait a minute. Nope. Can you post those on our Facebook page real quick? You know what? Yeah, but I'm able to do Facebook and everything. There's something going on with our site. So something happened to our site. Let me try Firefox and see if Firefox can get in there. Well, something's going on with my internet connection, guys. So we're just going to have to go with what I got here. Facebook is working. Let's see. Sorry about this. Just a minute here. See, Facebook is working good. For some reason, other things aren't working on here. Yeah, can you post the right front on the TACT team website? Oop, that's TACT team global that we're not doing anything yet on. But we will be global. TACT team 217. Okay, so sorry about this, folks. All right, well, while we were waiting for Hannah to post some pictures of the soles and a few other things of her horse's feet, I wanted to look at this one foot of Barb Miracles, because I noticed that some other people have the same issue, and it has to do with a strange, very short toe and a very long heel that's kind of run forward and under. And I wanted to show you how to trim that and stuff. So what am I going to do here now? Okay, well, let's just go back and look at some more anatomy while we are waiting for Hannah to post some pictures. Oh, remind you about wide flared hooves. What do you want to know about them, Deneen? I'll just ask a question. Say, what you got to do there is you have to grow down the whole wall connected to the inner foot. I've done a demonstration. Okay. I would love to know, let's talk about flares, all right? I would love to know how to trim out a flare without taking too much height. Yeah, that's really far. You have to take the flare back because the flare is growing horizontally instead of vertically. It grows down the wall and then it grows out. Just a minute. Oh, hold on. I've got to change gears here. My chickens are going wild out there eating crickets out in the new mown pasture. Eat some good eggs tomorrow. Just a second, because I have to find pictures and all that kind of stuff. So I'll show you a flare. Let's see, let's just go down here. Okay, here's a flare. Open with paint. Okay, there's a flare. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, can you see that flare? Yeah, that's a nasty flare. Okay, what happens is the wall grows down, but right here it starts going out this way, and instead of growing straight down, it's hard to trim because it's level with the sole. Isn't that right? Oh yeah, I had some good underrun heels there. You know, bulbs sticking out the back of the foot. I think one of these days I just need to tell you the story of this monstrosity. Okay, but you see, I was able to correct it here. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, Hannah still hasn't posted her pictures yet. Okay, I have a video called, I think it's called Taking Back a Flared Toe. They're on Facebook. We're out on Facebook, Hannah. So I have a video, a new post, so I need to refresh. Okay, here we go. Okay. See, where you need to start doing some work is in the pillars. The pillars are holding your foot forward. See, what's going to happen is you're going to wind up having a lot. This is an Icelandic horse, okay, and I think they're similar to a cob. And what I have been noticing about ponies and cobs and these types of horses is they have very steep dorsal walls, okay? In the end, what's going to happen is with this horse, just see. Hold on. In the end, what's going to happen with this horse, okay, is this wall is going to be like this, back to here, okay? This right here, this hairline is going to be raised up a little bit here. You'll have way more heel, but that would be more this horse's natural foot. In fact, it could be that he'll even have a steeper foot than that. All of this is going to come down and back, and he's going to have very upright, very thick frog. You know, hopefully his heels will widen out, because you do know, Hannah, that he's got contracted heels, don't you? Where'd I go? Uh-oh. Just a minute, I lost you. Crud. Just a minute. Man, I think I checked out. Hold on. Okay. Okay, there we are again. Again, wow, I mean, the more you look at this foot, the more you see that you have a very severe medial lateral imbalance. You just got to take it down. You got to mark it, okay, and just start taking it down a little bit there, so that it gets similar to this side over here. See the line? Okay? Even if, you see what's happening is it's wanting to go out this way because it is so much higher on this side. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, remember, see your heels here, okay? This horse is going to have to add some heel and pick all this up here. You've got to have about, let's see, just a second here. Let me move this over. Oh, I wish that was bigger. Just a second. See, I can't make this bigger. That's the problem. Just a second. Okay, I'll just do this right now. Okay, your heels are gonna, from right here, are gonna have to be at least 1 inch. See there? You see your from your hairline to the end of your bulb here. Okay, your heels have to be about that much longer. Okay, your inner heel for the inner foot is just right here. Okay, and you want to have sole under here. So you need to start growing this piece of heel here, letting it grow, and it has to get about that long, and then it's going to start pushing this up. And look at, see the angle of it? You know what it'll do? It'll start pushing these heels apart. See the angle? It's going to start, as the horse is able to bear more weight here because he's not going to be hitting his bulbs, okay? That's going to work on this hoof wall to push the heels apart, like so. See that? Just a minute here. This is a new program I got. So I'm wondering how all it works and all the little things it does. Oh, see, I can share. Right click. Okay, where are we at? Permanently, just a second. Right click. Well, I don't see how you can save that. Right click, image, and choose copy image. Okay. Okay. Copy image. Okay. Let's see if I can share this with you. No. Stupid thing. Just a minute. I'll use my other program. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay, it worked. I just was not patient enough. Hey, you know what? This could work really good if we could use our TACT team Facebook page to do evaluations. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the TACT team Facebook page to do evaluations and markups. See how cool did that work? You know, later I could go and write something there or something like that. Okay, that worked pretty good. Just a minute here. Okay, did that work good? Okay, now do you see some of what's going to have to happen to your horse's foot here, Hannah? You know, I'm going to help you on getting this part figured out of what to do to the side of that toe. You know, yeah, be patient, and you know, you see that the foot is in a certain state, and everything, the internal parts, everything has to move back into place with the heels. Yeah. You know, the toe, the dorsal wall has to go back. The heels have to widen up. You know, right up there in that crack. Okay, we're gonna hope that the heels will push that open, and you develop a nice thick frog stay there. But you do need to take care of the pillars. Yes, you do now. And you can see that the foot is even leaning over a bit. Okay, so we're going to see. Yeah, you know. Okay, see, yeah, you can see that the heels are very contracted. And another thing, I need to do a demonstration. As you grow the heel right here, just a second here. Okay, now I know there's other people out there with contracted heels, so you're learning from this as well. Oops, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, this right here is the heel buttress. this little area right here. Just a minute. This little area, there's your heel buttress. Right here. Okay, so remember, you draw a line from here to where the hairs start, right here. And you measure. So this is going to be, right about here is going to be 1 1/8 right there. Okay, so you have to grow about 1 inch of heel here. Okay, right here, about 1 1/8, about 1 inch of heel right there. Okay, and that way these heels will be pushed out that way. This side here is even more contracted than that side. Let me try this again. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Yeah, you can tell by the shape of your foot. Here, just a second here. See, toes are not round like that. The foot is more oval. Okay, so when the pillars grow long and forward, it widens out the sides of the foot here and makes it a different shape. And you can see here too, these pillars are not wanting to be here. So what you need to do, I would do a pillar bevel. You know, see, you bring the sole down just barely to the level, or not the sole, your sole doesn't look like the problem. It looks like the problem is in the wall. You know, that doesn't look like you have a lot of excess sole in there. So maybe what you need to do is do a pillar bevel right here. A little bit. Just a minute. Okay, now it does look like it's kind of high though from this picture. Yeah. Yeah, you could have a little bit of excess sole right here in the toe. So again, you're going to need you're going to need to measure your dorsal walls, and you're going to have to read your grid lines, and you just take your rasp and just take down this corner a bit, you know, like 1/8 of an inch. Start with that, and then a little bit more of a bevel on the pillar here. Just a minute. Let me do this. Yeah, absolutely. Is that still the right foot though? What if I'm looking at the wrong foot and thinking that? It's like that could happen, but that does look high there, and like the sole has stretched into here. So yeah, you could take that down. Absolute. See, where are my squigglies there? Around here. You know, this side here. You know, taking this down just a little bit. You gotta literally rasp into the sole here on the side a little bit. say, going this way. You know, you're going to have to map the foot and mark the dorsal wall. And what you're wanting to do just for now is try and match up this side with this side here. Okay. Just a minute here. Okay. I am exhausted. All right. So, Hannah, do you see how that corner is high on that foot? You lay your rasp flat on the corner here, and you just take it down a little bit. Rasping, you'll see it. You'll do a rasp over to the side of the toe here, okay? You map the foot. You know how you have the lines that show you where your pillar is, okay? Just like when you're doing the regular TAM, only you have to come into the sole a little bit. Let's see. You have to come into, no. You have to, as you take a rasp swipe, you will see your rasp a little bit of sole off, okay? If you take another swipe, you'll see it get a little wider. And if you take another swipe, you'll see it get a little wider. You've got to take it down a bit here, maybe about 1/8 of an inch on this corner over here, and then re-bevel your wall to match this side of the foot over here. And probably you're going to have to take some down from here to here. You know, like, look, if this foot was mapped, there'd be a line across there. And then and there's a line across the toe. Well, right here is your pillar, and you got to lay that rasp flat and just take some down to where, you know, read the line on the outside of the foot so that it is symmetrical or relatively even with the line, the growth ring on the other side of the foot. Is that help? Am I helping you at all there? You know, sometimes this is hard to explain. Okay. And we'll see how that helps her. And other than that, you know, I do need to get together with you guys to show you about rasping this part of the foot down as this little part is growing. Okay. You know what? You could, if you knew how to scribe and you knew how you were looking at that foot, you know, once you guys will get so that you can look at that foot and you will know how to make each side of that toe symmetrical. You will know when one side of the wall has grown forward and is making that side a little otter shaped. You know, you will get so that you can trim a symmetrical, level, balanced foot. And that is why you have to use the protractor, because your eyes will start seeing it. You know, you've got a foot there, you divide that foot in half, and you got to have matched sides. Well, the wall grows down and forward, right? So when the wall grows down and forward more on one side, that side of the toe is going to be a little further forward and a little wider and a little squarer and a little higher. See? And so you can rasp down flat on that to bring it back. You know, and you'll know you'll know if you hit blood. Sorry, but you will. You know, some of you, that's going to happen to you. Okay? Have you ever scraped your finger just to scrape light on the skin and had just a drop of blood leach through your skin? That happens. That can happen on these feet as well. If you wind up getting if you let's see, that's why you have these measurements, so you do not overdo it and get that close. But it can happen on occasion. People make mistakes. All right. And when on these feet, if you're rasping and you get into what you call sensitive sole and get too close to the corium, through the sole itself, you will see a drop of blood come through. Okay, it's not. You don't even have to go all the way to the corium. It tells you when you are too close. Okay, just like if you barely scrape your skin and a little drop of blood will come through your skin, but you haven't gone into your flesh, have you? It's the same way with the sole corium and the sole on these horses' feet. See, if you accidentally rasp too close to the sole corium, you take a little swipe. And see, you should be using the small teeth on this, Hannah, not the big teeth, because you haven't got a lot there that you got to take off. You just need to use the small teeth of the rasp. Okay? But any of you, if you ever do get too close to the sole corium, okay, before you ever hit the corium, the sensitive sole, okay, that is growing off of that, if you get a little too close, you'll just take a swipe with the rasp. You'll have your white sole or whatever color your sole is, and you'll just see a drop of blood leach through, and then you can freak out and faint, okay? But oh my God, go and get the first aid kit, and the bute and everything. But it's not going to kill your horse. We definitely don't want to do that. But you guys are learning, and sometimes if you're going to do this, you're going to make a mistake. It could happen to you, and I don't want you to freak out. I want you to know what has happened and what you're doing, and know that it's as my dear dad would say, it's a long ways from his heart, but it hurts your heart. A lot of times they don't even know you did it. They don't go, ow. Okay. Yeah, they don't go, ow, ow, or nothing like that. Half the time they don't feel it. I think that's put there as a warning signal to the trimmer. Hey, you're getting a little close there. Okay. We're told not to make mistakes. Well, you know what? Anytime you undertake something of this magnitude, you are going to make mistakes. But you learn from your mistakes. So, yeah, to err is human. No kidding. But I try and teach you and tell you if you do make a mistake, not to freak out. Go, oh, well, got a little close there. I guess that'll teach you on the next horse. See, that's why I show you these anatomy pictures and these hoof capsules and these inner feet, so you can get an idea in your mind of how close that foot is inside that capsule. See, and eventually I need to work out something to help explain to you more about reading the sole. Reading the sole, understanding the sole, knowing when you're close, how to tell the difference between live sole, growing sole or whatever, and retained sole and exfoliatable sole and all that. Okay, we're just going to do questions here for the next 20 minutes. So I'm going to take a question from Nicola. But first, before I answer your question, Nicola, I want to ask Hannah. Hannah, has this helped you? Does this give you a little something to work on to maybe see what is going on? At least we have approached. I'll work with you more on the other foot on the forum as well. And but at least you know you got an idea, because I think the lameness is in this foot. Okay, you know, I know how I step quick when I step on my sore foot, and it could be in there's lameness in the other foot too, but definitely this kind of an imbalance in the toe would cause that horse. I mean, really, I'm looking at this picture I got on here now, and if that's the same foot, that side of the toe looks really high. You know, that's going to cause his joints to kink. Is Ray Hannon on here anywhere? Did she come tonight? I guess she's not here. You know, she's got a wealth of knowledge as well. She trims a lot of horses, and she's a really good person to ask questions. And okay, so I'm gonna go back up here. Oh, whose screen just disappeared? Okay, I'm gonna go back up here to Nicola, who says, Linda, my mare had a bunch of unevenness on the sole. Looked like extra callus from where she had the serious abscess. Wait a minute. I decided to take out the unevenness. Was that wrong? No, I don't think so. You know, you know, I can show you pictures of dissections where a lot of junk was allowed, lumps and bumps of sole were allowed to accumulate on the sole, and it hurt the sole corium. So no, I don't think that's wrong, because when you get certain lumps, certain globs of sole and stuff, and it builds up, it's just like if you have lumps in your shoe. You know, this stuff presses up onto that sensitive foot, and it affects the sole corium, and it affects the sole growth. And if you look at the bottom of the not every wild horse is the example we want to use. Like, we don't want to use the ones whose frogs have turned into lizard skin, you know, and cracked all over. And, you know, we want to use certain wild horses only for an example of what is an anatomically correct foot. And so, you know, their soles are smooth. You know, they don't have a bunch of lumps of junk under them. Okay, so I could show you a picture here. Just a minute. Okay, see there? They don't have a bunch of junk on their soles. See there? They're worn pretty even. Look there, their frog, this horse's frog wasn't some emaciated, dried up hunk of, you know, petrified wood, you know. You know, again, this is that mare that Pete Ramey found. See, there isn't a bunch of junk here. Okay, does that answer your question? I think you did the right thing. And sometimes you might do that and they'd be sore. Somebody else was telling me they did that. And, oh, no, what it was, they just did a TACT trim, and then the soles fell out of all four of their horses' feet. You know, it had all kinds of petrified sole, and the bar was in the wrong place, and so they trimmed everything, and it loosened everything up, and the sole fell out of the feet, and then the horse was walking around like he's on hot rocks. Well, that's because he's got fresh sole under there, and you know, it's going to take him a couple days for that sole to toughen up, and then it's going to start growing correctly. Okay, just a second here. Okay. You guys are talking about something. I don't even know what you're talking about. Sarah Holzer, should we allow more than 1 inch of heel buttress so the total is 2 inches of heel, or trim down to 1 inch of buttress, even if it means a total heel that is less than 2 inches? The heel can be less than 2 inches. You know, that's just a guideline. You know, in the end, but see, you have to leave some heel so that it will jam up. This is a time when you need hoof wall to jam up and to grow up and to push up. See, so you don't want to. You want to leave some wall in the heel that is weight bearing, so that as the heel grows, it's pushing up the bulb. Does that make sense? This horse says, Sarah Holzer says this horse has contracted frogs, so is it okay to leave a longer heel buttress? Yeah. I don't know why not. Contracted heels? You mean he's got contracted heels? Oh, okay, which heels and frogs? Okay, well, you know, yeah, you can leave a longer heel buttress because that's going to help him grow a little bit more frog. And also, I think it helps them want to land better and push the heels out. And I could be wrong. You know, each case is different. Okay. Okay, Rena Bartlett says, allowing the heel to grow. How does it pull back into place without growing forward and getting underrun? That's a good question. Okay, yeah, how does it do that? That's a good question. Well, my theory is that as the horn tubules come back into alignment with the quarters, and as the heel buttress pushes the frog up, and as you're renewing the frog apex and that whole frog is moving back, that the horn tubules are going to push back the heels eventually. That's what I'm hoping. And I've been seeing that, you know. But as we do this, we might come up with some more ideas on how to get it to do that as well. So, you know, I haven't got all the exact answers for that. I've got some good theories, and they seem to be working. But every case is a little different. So, yeah, you have to, okay. Let's see, who says what? Sandra is saying, Linda, what do you think? Well, first, Rena, does that kind of tell you where I'm at on that? I was waiting for an answer from Rena. She'll go, no, I didn't understand that. You were confusing. Well, I am kind of confused on occasion. Okay, well, then I will read. Okay, yes, okay. I've been afraid to let the heels grow on my horses with forward heels, worried they would get worse. Yeah, see, that's the thing. They don't get worse. Because what happens is then your frog has room to grow, and then everything, all the internal parts start moving, you know? And that's what's amazed me, as they don't get worse. It seems totally backwards, you know. but it actually works. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to just zip, zam, zoom right up under where they're supposed to be right away, but I do believe that eventually they will. But the one thing they do is they allow that frog, and remember, it begins and ends with that frog, with the apex and the frog stay. You know, they allow that frog and those internal parts to start growing correctly and coming back. Okay, so Sandra asks, Linda, what do you think is about the different beveling from the walls? If the toe pillars are pushing up differently, I have this on both my horses and realize that the toes are correcting more symmetrical if I bevel the higher pillar in a steeper angle than the other that doesn't push up so hard. Well, could you share some pictures and share that, what you just said, Sandra? Could you share that concept there that you're talking about on the TACT Team 217 forum? Because that sounds like something important that you're finding out that maybe we should know more about. You know, I don't think I got time to think about that and stuff. And if you could post that, and if you could do some sort of an illustration of what you mean, okay? Because as you guys learn this, and as you guys start experimenting and doing different things with your horses, you're going to find things that work that I don't even know about. See? And you're going to come up with ideas, and you're going to see things that you're going to be able to share back to help our overall knowledge of this whole situation. That would be awesome if you could do that. Yes, but definitely, please hold on to that whole thought and share it. You know, even if yeah, for sure. That sounds like something important we need to know. Yeah, well, see, Sandra, you know, maybe you could also help Hannah. You know, because here's the thing: when you are sharing this stuff with somebody, you're going to grow even more. And here's what happens: if you share this, if you help somebody, you're going to learn more. Okay, that's what happened to me. As I share stuff, I learn. You know. Okay. So Barb Miracle says, earlier someone asked about scribing. I thought they were talking about the hoof walls, but I think they meant scribe the white line. Well, see, I used to do this thing called scribing the sole, where I would go in with the hoof knife and I would define the sole. That's what they're talking about. So it must be somebody that's been following those YouTube videos for a while. The ones that you told me I have to change because I still have junk on there that I shouldn't. Okay, Deneen, scribing the white line to find stretched and false sole. I think this is why I can't correct my mare's underrun heels. Deneen, how long have you been trying to correct those heels? A long time? Years. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at those heels and see if I can tell what's going on. Okay. Oh, by the way, I didn't have a new. Barb says Linda sent out an email with a new password to the forum. Here's the deal: I am going to change the password. but I haven't done it yet. So it'll be sometime this week, but just go ahead. Sorry, Barb. Yeah, sorry for the misunderstanding. Long toes too. Okay. Well, I will take a look at those. And please, oh my goodness sakes. I need to be reminded sometimes, but I think maybe you need some extra help there, Deneen. I wish I could extra help everybody. But here's the thing. Eventually we're going to get this. Eventually you folks are going to get good at this, and eventually you can become mentors and help other people. And that is the purpose of this class, to get you so that you're knowledgeable and you can do this and you can help other people. Okay. Yeah, we need to. Becky's talking about, Deneen, finding the true apex, which we need to do more teaching on. You know, the different ways to find and define the true apex, so you can find the true end of the toe. Because if you don't have the true end of the toe, then you can't get your toe to come back. Jody, hi Jody, says, my dream is to become good enough to help other people. Me too. Me too. Well, you know what? And you will. You absolutely will. And that's a wonderful, wonderful goal that you have, Jody. A new word for what part? See, this is why I think having the Facebook page is going to help, because it'll help you that have had some success in these different things, also mentor others, you know, like to understand about the apex. You know, it's such a great thing, because I really see people gaining this understanding and coming back to me, and they say things, and I'm just so blessed to see that not only they're understanding, but they're coming up with new stuff, you know, and seeing new things, and it's a wonderful thing. Well, guys, it is 8:58, and I would like to thank Barb Miracle for opening up them Facebook pages and keeping track of them and being an administrator. And I'd like to thank Becky for mentoring people, new people on the forum that are coming on there, and she's a wonderful welcome wagon, because sometimes people come on and I'm just got so much going on here, I don't get a chance to do it all, and so I want to thank her for that. And also, I want to tell you, I'm going to have a special webinar here in the next couple weeks. It's going to be called a brainstorming webinar. If you would like to be, I am trying to get an organization off the ground called the TACT Team Global Hoof Initiative. Okay, you see, we all have the same stories, all right? And it's going to be a deal where we can, as a group, maybe do some really good things to help other people and to get the truth out. So I will let you know about that brainstorming webinar, because I need your people's ideas. We need to work as a team, and we need to help the horse and help people. All right, guys, you're awesome. You're the best. And I look forward to next week, and I'll let you know about this new webinar. And if you have questions or you're learning something, please post it. We want to know what you're learning. We want to know because I'm just laying the foundation. You are all going to build it into something really dynamic. Oh, hey, and I'm learning so much from all of you. Hey, y'all have an awesome week. Bye, everybody.